people think of Andy Reid, what do they think of? I know what some people think of. They think of the Kansas City Chiefs head coach. That's what they think of. Some people think of the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. Some people think of the punt, pass, and kick champion.
Yes.
That's not what I think of. I think of the former Green Bay Packers tight end coach. This guy knows how to get production out of the tight end position. How does he do it? One way is trouble formation. 3 receivers up top. Tight end, running back down below. Why are they in trouble? Too much speed up there for the defense. Too much of a tough matchup down here for the defense. Tre'Davious White, he's one of the best in the game. Can't stop the corner route. That 2-man combination out of trouble formation. Again, speed up top with 3 receivers. Trouble on the matchup. What do people do down here? They run out routes, usually a corner route and an out route. So these corners, they know it. But look at this, Andy Reid. Whoop, little corner seam. Use what they know against them in this situation. Look at that, Teddy.
Nice
He's like a running back out there.
Here.
That's one of the reasons he's top 5 in receiving yards. He's top 5 in receptions at all positions. But this is what I love, and this is where Andy Reid comes in. I'm number 2 in the progression. On my way out in man coverage. This is not in the playbook. I'm just going to set a little boop, hip check, and I get McCole Hardman wide open. He just beats his man. I'm number 2 in the progression. And what happens? Well, hey, the linebacker helps out. So guess what? Number 2 in the progression still gets the ball.
Is that illegal stuff, man? Come on, that's a pick.
This is next level, but it's so good, and I love what I'm seeing out of Andy Reid. I love what I'm seeing out of Travis Kelce. I love what I'm seeing out of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, you see Andy Reid as a former tight ends coach. A lot of people see the Miami Dolphins defense as that pressure defense, the zero blitz type of schemes. And let me show you who they've been with those zero type of schemes. You see 6 up right here trying to confuse the protection. Off coverage by the defensive backs, no safety deep. You're trying to get a free runner on Kyler Murray. There he is right there. Murray tries to escape and use his ability, but a strip sack right there. They pick it up and go for a touchdown. This is who they've been, the Miami Dolphin defense. But let me show you why. This is who they can't be. And why they can't be it, because look how the Baltimore Ravens try to do a similar concept. DB's off coverage, trying to get a free runner on Patrick Mahomes, but he doesn't say, I don't care. He says, I don't care if you got a free runner, because I'm going to drop back like 12 yards, and I still got a cannon attached to my right shoulder to throw it 50 yards deep to one of my speedy receivers. It's not what you're looking for. Now, this is what I think you'll see when Miami and Brian Flores goes up against them. Split safety looks, but they go to a single safety high. They rob the crossers versus man-to-man coverage with the safety deep to still help with those deep routes, those type of things. That's one variation of it. Here's another. Split safety, selectively double teaming receivers. You see still trying to confuse the protection, but that's A.J. Green. Selectively double with the safety and still have a safety over the top for the deep routes. Variations of man coverage with safety help, and you can still confuse protection. The same play from the end zone, one linebacker man-to-man, the other loops around, and you're still able to maximize your pressure and still have coverage looks. B-Flow's no dummy. He's not going to have zero blitz against a quarterback that can throw it like that and drop back about 20 yards and still sling it. That's what I think you'll see from Brian Flores.
Yeah, he's no dummy, and he's one of the few people who actually has a good track record against Patrick Mahomes. Technically 2-0 against him from his time in New England, but today maybe needing a little bit of help at linebacker. Both Van Noy and Roberts questionable in this one. Well, not far from here at MetLife, Kyler Murray and the Cards getting set to take on the New York Giants. Cardinals have lost 3 straight, 1-4 in the last 5 days. So we're going to find out a lot about this conference. But before we get to all that, the slate is stacked. And for that, we need to get to our insiders and say good morning to Adam Schefter and Chris Mortensen. Guys, what do we need to know before kickoff today?
Well, good morning, Sam. There is no rush to bring back Drew Brees for the New Orleans Saints, and there's no timetable as to when he might return, casting doubt as to whether or not Brees will be ready for next Sunday's showdown against the Kansas City Chiefs in New Orleans. That means that today, Taysom Hill will make his 4th consecutive start. The Saints are 3-0 with him playing quarterback. They're 8-0 without Brees dating back to last season, and they're hoping to build upon that today in Philadelphia, Mort.
Adam, the Giants are bringing back Daniel Jones, who missed 1 week last week, a win over the Seattle Seahawks on the road because of that hamstring injury. But on Friday, he practiced in full. Joe Judge gave him the thumbs up after the training staff gave him the thumbs up. But don't expect that 80-yard run where he gets a chance to trip up down the field. They'll be happy with the fact that he has some mobility in the arm to connect for the first place Giants against the Arizona Cardinals. They are 5-7 and on a 4-game win streak. And then in Philadelphia, everybody knows the story about Jalen Hurts. He's in New Orleans today. He's taking over for Carson Wentz. He was named the starter for this week, but sources say that the expectation is that he'll start beyond this week. And certainly Doug Peterson has a package for him. It's not unlike what you saw in college at Oklahoma or Alabama. You see a lot of the run options, short passes. He does like to throw downfield like he did last week against Jalen Reagor. He's a strong, fast, hard to take down physical runner. So Jalen Hurts for the Eagles today, Adam.
And more, for the time being, the Philadelphia Eagles intend to keep Carson Wentz, but they are on the clock. The Eagles must make a decision by the second day of the league year in March of 2021, because on the third day of the league year, Wentz's $22 million base salary for 2022 becomes fully guaranteed, and his roster bonus of $10 million also is paid out. So even though the organization is saying all the right things about Wentz for now, and even though they are tied to him financially, there are some decisions that loom in the future, but for now, they do intend to keep him. They don't plan on trading him, and the cost, frankly, is prohibitive, Sam, if they do.
Yeah, it's a complicated situation, guys. It's a position that Carson Wentz has never been in his time in the league. So I'm not saying you're an expert at this, Matt, but what's it like for him? What's it like to be benched?
Yeah, listen, it stinks. Like, it's humiliating. You feel like, one day you're the most important piece of the puzzle to the team. You're like the newspaper, and then the next day you're yesterday's newspaper, and you feel like you have no value. It's almost like an out-of-body experience. And I would just say this, though. I think that you can take one step back to take 2 steps forward. I remember early in my career in Seattle, I was benched. I wasn't playing well. I was trying to do too much. And Trent Dilfer came in, and he ran the offense exactly the way the coaches asked him to run it. He was like, hey, you want a completion on this play? I'm going to get you a completion. And I sat there and watched this out-of-body experience, and I thought, man, if and when I ever get my chance again, I'm going to play different. Like, if they want that, that's what I'm going to give them. And I think that's what Carson Wentz has the opportunity to do. Jalen Hurts is going to go out there and he's going to run the offense the way that it should be. He's like a rookie, basically. I'm going to go out, I'm going to get completions. I'm going to stay ahead of the change. It's going to be 2nd and 5. He's not going to lead the league in interceptions and turnovers and sacks. He's just going to play within the system, within himself. And I would expect Carson Wentz will get another shot at some point, and we'll see a better version of him. But right now, Sam, it's miserable. It is absolutely miserable. You want your team to win, but you're hurting, you're struggling, and you just don't even have the words and the emotions right now.
And if you're Carson Wentz's teammate, you hope he's upset. You hope that this bothers him because, truthfully, everybody needs a slice of humble pie once in a while in their careers, and that's what he got served up. So I think it's important. You've got the experience you're talking about, who he is now, because Jalen Hurts is the quarterback now. Can he be in that supportive role? The only example I have is when Brady was named starter over Drew Bledsoe. Back when Brady took off, Drew was upset. Drew was really upset. People that close to him knew how upset he was. He just got a big contract. This is my team. Behind closed doors, yes, he voiced his opinion. But still, he was supportive to Brady on the sideline. He was a resource for Tom. Can Carson Wentz fulfill that role?
Yeah, it's funny. Like, you guys make phenomenal points right there. But Sam talked about how this has never happened to Carson Wentz before, but it sure feels like it's happened before, doesn't it? Like, it almost feels like he got benched during that